use artificial intelligence correctly, you're much more likely to be successful. And if you use it incorrectly, you're much likely to fail. They say that AI is going to be taking over all the jobs, right? It's going to completely take over all the jobs. So if it completely takes over all the job, what's your job going to be? You think we're going to need SBA lenders when the AI can make all the decisions? So, like, think about it. Do you think we're going to need marketers? Do you think we're going to need podcasters? Someone recently said that all content will be AI-generated content in 5 years. Nobody will even want to tune into human-generated content because it's not entertaining. It's not fun to listen to a human. It's fun to listen to a machine that makes it sound like a human, and it gives you exactly what you need when you need it, and it stimulates you with dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all in the right way, in the way that you want to hear it. And so if that's where we're headed and that's where we're going, we need to be part of it, and we need to understand a strategy of how we can leverage it so that we can live our best life.
So when you say we need to be part of it, are there enough parts for all the people that would otherwise lose their jobs? I mean, that's the part that scares me more than anything else is, will there be jobs for the next generation?
I think that people are going to be able to plug their energy in to the computer, to the machine, and they're going to be able to the machine's going to be able to use them to be able to give them the life that they're looking to have. I'll give you an example. Let's say for right now, what percentage of your brain do you use, Lynn?
A lot of it.
Okay. Okay, people are not using the full capacity of their brain. Let's just say they're not using the full capacity. Lynn probably uses more than Ami, but we're not, like we're you guys are certainly more intelligent than I am. You're more successful. You've been around for longer than me. Like you guys are definitely using your brain at a higher capacity than I am. Now, if you want to be able to live your best life, you can decide how much money you want to make, right? Let's say everyone in the world will be able to decide how much money they want to make. And if you want, you can give yourself over to an AI, and the AI will figure out how to monetize you instead of you figuring out how to monetize the AI. I'll give you an example of what that means. Right now, listen to this. This is a little bit out there, but listen to this. Right now, if you get a job and you work for somebody, are you their slave?
Oh,
Are you enslaved to a 9 to 5? Do you have to show up at 9, and if you don't show up, you're fired?
Not me, but I understand what you're saying.
Not you. You can take off and go on vacation anyone you want. But if I tell you, I need you to be here in my office tonight,
right,
and I need you to sweep up these floors, and if you don't sweep up these floors, you are fired.
Right.
You will show up and sweep up the floors because you're afraid of being fired. That's called being somewhat enslaved. You have a relationship with me, and I tell you what to do, and you do it. That relationship is, and if you don't, you lose your livelihood. That is a form of subjugation. That's what's going on right now. That will no longer be a thing in the future where one human tells another human that they have to show up in order to make money. What's going to happen is that you're going to have machines that you can tune into, and those machines will tell you what your capacity is and how you could leverage revenue or leverage whatever. It's not going to be money the same way we're thinking of money now anymore, because money's going to be worthless. It's not. You're not going to have like walk in and have cash and have dollars. Everything's going to have to switch to Bitcoin. Everything's going to have to switch to. It's going to have to switch to ways that machines can't give you $1 and take $1. It's just bits, and so it's going to have to switch to that in order for machines to be able to transact with humans. And machines to be able to transact with machines. It's going to have to be a blockchain. That's just where we're going and what it's going to be and how it's going to have to happen. So if you want to be able to live the type of life of being a billionaire or whatever, you have to behave in a way where you can impact a lot of machines and a lot of people and be able to work on yourself to be able to make a difference. And you could use AI, or AI will use you. A lot of people that are in 9 to 5 jobs, they're just basically on autopilot. I want you to think about this, Ami, and I want you to think about this, Lynn, for a second. If somebody's working at McDonald's right now and they have a job, J-O-B, okay?
Right.
They have a job. They're working at Burger King. They're working at McDonald's. They're working at Sephora, and they're making minimum wage. They're making minimum wage, and they cannot pay their rent, and they're getting loans to pay their rent, and they cannot pay their student loans, and they're getting personal loans to pay their student loans, and they barely can afford eggs in the market. but they're still doing that. And they're not learning how to be an entrepreneur. They're not learning how to be able to make websites on the side and make videos on the side and do whatever it is on the side to be able to use their extra time. And when they get home, they're so exhausted from being enslaved that what do? They go tune in to Instagram. They tune in to Netflix. They tune into getting drunk in the bar and giving any extra money that they have, or going into debt, just getting drunk and going partying in the weekend so they can get their next dopamine hit. Those people are going to soon get a very, very big alarm when all of a sudden they lose their job to a machine that costs the corporation, instead of minimum wage, it costs them $1 an hour. You can hire Evie AI today for 50 cents a day, and it will write all your posts, all your comments, all your messages, help you with all the different things, organize your network. There's a lot that you can do with Evie AI. And the crazy thing about it is, if people are not willing to retool their skill and they're still living in the fax machine era, okay, think about this. When the phones came out and email came out, there were people that were like, I will never get email in my life. Do you know anyone that doesn't use email now? You can't even interact with the government if you don't have email.
You can interact with the government now, even with email, but that's a different story.
But my point is, there are people that were living in the Stone Ages that were like, don't email me, call me. And now, like, call people? Who calls people? I still call people, by the way, because I'm from the 70s. I remember a time when caller ID didn't exist. Do you remember a time, Ami, that caller ID didn't exist? It was a time like that for those people. So I'm from the 70s. You're maybe from the 80s or whatever. You're probably younger than me. You look younger than me. And so you're like, no, you don't. You look really young, Lynn, just by the way. You look like you're in your 30s or whatever. But anyway, bottom line is artificial intelligence, I believe, will create a tremendous amount of abundance for those that are interested in tuning into it and leaning into it. It'll either use you or you will use it. In EO, we say, own your own experience in EO and in the world. If you want to have a great life, you have to be grateful, but you have to make a great life. That means create opportunity for the people around you. I believe the following: the secret to living is giving. The reason why my business has a potential to do $100 million a year in annual revenue is not because I'm doing SEO for people and impacting one business, but it's because I can impact 1 billion people. I can make a difference for the 1.2 billion people that are on LinkedIn. And by the way, Microsoft is committed to tripling the size of LinkedIn. It's growing at a rate right now of 3 new members every second. It's growing very, very quickly. People are graduating from TikTok, from Instagram, from Snapchat, and they're moving to LinkedIn, and that's where the money is. And that's why I've invested heavily in not only training people on how to use LinkedIn, but training people on how to use artificial intelligence within LinkedIn, but to Ami's point, do it authentically. Do it in a proper way. Does this make any sense to you?
Yeah, it does make sense to me, but and you sort of explained some of what I'm curious about, but I still worry about people who aren't able to make that switch.
Let me maybe tell you, Lynn, about my own AI journey, and I'll share it with you, Joe, too, and maybe it'll help you think about it. I committed to myself about 3 months ago, that I'm going to train my brain to try use AI to make my life easier and to make my life more efficient. And that's difficult, but actively I've trained myself as tasks come up and there are things I want to do. I train myself to say, can I try AI to make this more efficient? And it's really working. And it is in many respects freeing me up to be more creative. Right.
That's exactly what Joe said. Yeah.
And now what I'm trying to do, and I think we've been enormously successful in this on our marketing side. Alan, I want to do, let's just say we get a borrow in and a file, and it takes us on average 10 hours of labor to get that file ready for a bank. I want to get that down to 2 hours of man time.
I love that. I love that you're actually saving people from doing manual labor. And instead of them doing manual labor, you're giving them intelligent things to do, which, by the way, one of the things I learned in Entrepreneurs Organization, and by the way, I mentioned I'm part of EO Global right now. So I went from being in EO New York to EO Brooklyn to EO Global now.
Which chapter are you in, Joe?
I'm in EO Platinum 1. It's the global chapter
with Sejal, huh?
Exactly. Sejal is the cybersecurity expert in EO Platinum 1. So I went from being 100 pounds overweight, being unaware, being a person that wasn't authentic, to now feeling like I could really make an impact. And one of the things that I learned that employees need more than anything is autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Those three things. I learned that both in Vistage, YPO, EO. I learned it through my whole journey, the YJP, the Inc. 5000 Business Owners Forum. I learned that employees actually want to be useful. And if you're giving them useless things to do, like flipping burgers, they're tuning out of life. If you want to find people that are tuned into life, that's what you want people around you. Give them things that will make them passionate. I always tell people, take all your employees, make them make 2 lists. The things that they love doing, the things that they hate doing. The things that they love doing, even if they can automate it with AI, let them keep doing that. If they love doing it, turn off the autopilot and let them do the things they love doing. But the things that they hate doing, prioritize doing that, because you want people that are not coming to work. You want people that are coming to play, that are coming to live, that are coming to be part of your family. That's what it's about. You bring people into your house. When my cleaning lady tells me, oh, I don't want to do this or da-da-da, I was like, don't do any of that. Do the things you love doing, and I'll figure out a way to automate the rest of the things. If you don't like to mop, I can get a robot that can mop, but I want you to fold my laundry. I love folding laundry. Okay, great. Fold my laundry, clean the kitchen, whatever it is. The same thing with my kids. You know, some parents, they want their kids to do certain things. Like my father wanted me to be a rabbi. His father wanted him to be a doctor. I want my kids to do, I have 5 kids. I'm a single dad with 5 kids. I love for my kids to do what they love to do. So my oldest daughter, guess what? She didn't go to college. She's 19 years old. When she turned 18, she decided she's moving out of her mom's house, and she's moving into my house. I bought a house. My dream was to buy a house with enough bedrooms for all my kids. I bought a 5-bedroom house in New Jersey. I wanted a 2-car garage. I wanted a running path in nature. I have everything I ever wanted. And I made my daughter her own little section in the room, beautiful room I made her with her own bathroom, with her own everything. And she decided to come to my house, and it took her a year to figure out what she wanted to do. And you know what she decided she was going to do throughout the whole year? We were talking, having dinner every single night, talking about what she possibly wanted to do. Instead of me forcing her to get a minimum wage job to just be productive, go work, da-da-da, or go to college, da-da-da, she decided she wants to be an esthetician. Okay, so now she's in esthetician school, aesthetic school, and she's getting a license. She's going to graduate in January, and she's getting a license to do something that she's always wanted to do but never had the courage to do, and it took her a year to figure it out. Are machines going to be able to like do a facelift, not a facelift, a facial on your face? I think so, they will, but you're going to want a human to talk to and to have a conversation with and to touch you. She also wants to become a masseuse now. She realized she likes massaging people's faces and their shoulders. So she's going to go to massage school, and she's going to learn how to do laser, and she's going to do all this stuff. I don't think the government's going to allow machines to do this faster than they're going to allow machines to flip burgers. So learn what you're really, because no one's passionate about being in McDonald's and flipping burgers. I'm telling you, nobody is. I've never really walked into McDonald's to speak to people there. But if you go into McDonald's, I've been into enough places that if you walk in there, the people are not passionate. If you go to Trader Joe's, the people at Trader Joe's are passionate. They love what they do, and they huddle. They do things correctly. And I watch. I go in right before they're about to close, so I see their systems and processes and how they operate. They can't kick me out of the store. That's one of their policies. So I end up meeting with the staff there, and I see the way that they work. And because I love Trader Joe's employees. If I was going to hire people, I would go to Trader Joe's, find their employees, and offer them a better job. Because I want to create a culture, and culture is so important. Have you ever toured Zappos when the Zappos was tourable back in Las Vegas? I went with EO to tour Zappos. It was amazing to see culture, the concept of culture. And so the idea of culture, I don't think AI is going to replace culture. And so people have to be passionate, and they have to love what they're doing. Ami, do you agree or disagree with culture and passion?
I totally agree. What I say about our culture here, Joe, at Multifunding, one of the things I'm most proud of is 95% of the time, folks either stay with us for 3 months or they never leave.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And
I thought maybe your water bottle was trying to...
I bought an ADD-friendly water bottle. I wanted to show it to you. These are still things that human beings are going to want to enjoy doing, even in the age of artificial intelligence, which is entertainment. There's something called entertainment, and there's something called education. We're going to have more edutainment, and things like this that AI is going to come up with. You see this? This is an actual water bottle that is an ADD-friendly water bottle that actually invigorates the water, and it swirls it around in a way that makes it more alive, so the water is not stagnant. And so what I can do is I can drink my water, enjoy it, and still have something to play with during sessions.
Joe, you're a fascinating guest. I could talk to you for hours.
I could too.
How do our listeners find out where's your URL? How do they find out about you?
I think if somebody texts the word demo to 973-841-8868, text the word
Say
demo.
it slower, please.
Yeah, okay, so text the word demo to 973-841-8868. You just text the word demo to 973-841-8868. We'll send you a demonstration video of our artificial intelligence technology. You'll book a demo with my team, and we'll show you step by step how to be able to create incredible graphics, incredible videos, and we'll teach you exactly how to properly humanize yourself within artificial intelligence to be able to do things in an intelligent and authentic way. Most people don't realize the power of artificial intelligence. If you want to find me, I live on LinkedIn, basically. I'm on LinkedIn Live right now as we speak. So if you go to joelinkedin.com, J-O-E linkedin.com, you can find me. I bought a domain that forwards to my LinkedIn. That's one of my 99 LinkedIn hacks. I use I basically cloned myself with AI. Lynn and Hami, listen to this. I cloned myself with AI, and I made a course with my 99 best ideas. Each idea is delivered in less than a minute, and there's an AI version of me delivering the idea with music and everything, and it was all created 100% with artificial intelligence. A human actually went and made sure everything was good, but it's all AI version of me. I didn't speak one word. There's 2 examples. If you go to 99hacks.club, because I want everyone to join the 99 Hacks Club, so I bought a .club instead of a .com. You go to 99hacks.club. You can watch 2 example videos there. Each are less than a minute for free, and you'll see one of the hacks there is buy a domain and use GoDaddy and forward that domain to your LinkedIn and make it memorable, like joelinkedin.com. So when I see someone on the street and they're like, hey, how do I connect with you? I say, can you remember the word Joe? Of course I can remember Joe. Who doesn't remember Joe? joelinkedin.com, because I'm the LinkedIn daddy. Okay, go. I wanted to buy linkedindaddy.com, but it's not available, Like it's much easier. But that's it.
It's pretty cool.
What a treat.
Fascinating.
What a treat to have a conversation with the SBA queen and the LinkedIn daddy. Does life get better than that?
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, Ami, what's your stage name?
My stage name is Functioning Introvert.
Functioning Introvert. Oh, my God. I love it. So you're already sick of this conversation. You're ready to go hide in your room and recharge.
No. I'm not sick of this conversation because it's online. But if I do a big room or a speak.
Physical introvert. Got it.
Find me hiding on the table. And last week I was hanging out with Lynn and all her lender buddies at the.
That sounds like a children's book, Lynn and the Lender Buddies.
We have all the credit analysts and the underwriters and the closers out of their queues once a year to this conference, and I'm still recovering.
Wow. Let me ask you a question.
He had to be with a lot of people. It was really overwhelming.
I changed my business card. My business card used to say marketing expert, CEO, whatever. I have a new title, and I think both of you should have this title as well. I think every human being listening to this should change their title from now on, from whatever title you have to this new title. And I want you guys to try to guess what the new title is in the world of AI. What does every person need to become instead of whatever role they have? Instead of a real estate agent, instead of a CEO, an entrepreneur, a consultant, what are you becoming right now? What does everyone need to become now in order to properly have a great life?
Quickly, let me go into LinkedIn and look.
No, I didn't change it on LinkedIn. But I changed
what is it, Joe? Tell us.
I just grateful is good. I think that everyone needs to become a prompt engineer.
There you go.
Because listen to this. There's a famous saying that says, "Ask and you shall receive." Have you ever heard of that? Right. Who said that? Who said ask and you shall? Was it Moses? It was somebody Jewish for sure.
Like that.
I don't know. Somebody Jewish said, "Ask and you shall receive." And what happens if you ask a genie to make you a billionaire? What is it going to do? The genie is going to make you a Colombian drug dealer and drop you in the middle of Colombia with everyone chasing you as a billionaire, right? So you have to be very careful when you're prompting. Abracadabra in Hebrew means, as you speak, so you shall create. And so we are creating our life with words. We are prompting life into existence. Like God prompted this world and it turned into existence. You can prompt anything you want. And if you're not accurate, if you're not deliberate, if you're not intentional, what you will get is something you do not need and do not want. Like when you create a terrible image or a terrible video or a terrible post, or you don't sound authentic or you sound like a robot, it's because you didn't prompt properly. And if you tell your assistant to do something and he or she does it incorrectly, it's because you didn't prompt properly. And if you tell your kids and your kids get angry or you get angry or something happens with lack of integrity, it's because you didn't prompt properly. So life is about prompting. And so I'm writing a book. I'm writing my 6th book. So I wrote 5 books already. I published them. I'm writing it manually by hand because I love it. It's called High Energy Prompting. And I'm letting you know right now, I'm writing a book teaching people how to be able to prompt, not with AI, but in life, prompting in life. How do you ask for what you want and get what you want out of life? Think about that.
I love it.
We'll
Joe,
be looking forward to it.
you'll be great. You'll have it when that book's done. We'll have you back on to talk about it. How's that?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Sounds great. Sounds great.
very
Thank
much,
you.
guys. God bless. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Great meeting you.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Allie, why do you say it's awesome?
Well, I was very I've sat in on your webinars before, obviously as moderating, but I feel like I always learn something new from you. And it's overwhelming, but it's also important to hear so that you can get comfortable with it, so you're not as overwhelmed with it.
Woohoo! It sounds like an inbound LinkedIn recommendation coming right there. So thank you.
There you go.
No, but it was really good. So we'll be in touch post-production, but thank you for being on. We've had you on the webinar and I was like, we need to have Joe on. So thank you
Good.
for sharing
Great.
this thought with us.
Thanks, Joe. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Bye.
All right, bye
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everybody. Okay.
All right. So what do you guys think of that? Let me turn on my my camera here so you guys can see me. So hopefully, let me see if I can turn my camera on. I don't know if I can turn my camera on. My camera seems to be on somewhere else, and therefore I cannot turn it on. So let me try to find where the camera is on. Oh, it's on Riverside. Let me turn off Riverside. Oh, it looks like I have a call starting in 5 minutes with Mark. Okay, cool. Now let me turn the camera on here. Okay, here we go. Now the camera's on. And let me put this here and put this here and grab this like this. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an incredible interview. And maybe you caught the tail end of it. Something happened in the interview and the whole thing got messed up and deleted. So you'll have to go listen to the podcast if you want to get the full interview. Allie will post the podcast below. She posted the link somewhere and it kind of disappeared. So I don't know what happened to it, but I'll have her post the podcast. That was an incredible episode that I had with the amazing team at the people who do SBA Ami. Here's his LinkedIn profile if you want to check him out. His name is Ami Kassar, multifunding.com. I'm going to go ahead and write that he's a podcast host. I'm going to press save. And it's pretty incredible to watch what he's built over the past 20 years. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of research on him by clicking on saved profiles, because I just saved him and his partner Lynn to the saved profile. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the AI kind of just read his profile briefly, pull up his phone number, his email address, his birthday, and all his information here to kind of pull everything together, organize it. And the other thing that I can do is inside our awareness tab here, I can click one button and it will deploy an agent and it will help you start researching this person. So look at this. He's the founder and CEO of Multifunding, a Philadelphia-based loan advisory consulting firm. His target market is small to mid-sized businesses, owners and entrepreneurs, how he helps people, his contact information, notable achievements, conversation starters, potential business opportunities, And then I have all these incredible research prompts here that I put together. And these research prompts allow me to quickly be able to research him. So, for example, if I want to find out what podcast he's recently been on, I push a button and it pulls up all the different podcasts that he's been on, and it kind of organizes them. So this one is called Ami Sites Podcast. He's the weekly host. I think that's the one that I was just on. Best Business Minds Podcast, the Key Points Navigating Business Loans, Fascinating Entrepreneur Show, the Workshop Unlocking blah, 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 LinkedIn Live Sessions, B2B Podcasting. So I see all the different things. Now what I can do is I can copy all these podcasts and I can start training my AI to understand who he is, what he's about, and I can copy the research that it did on him and put it into this little card here. And if I put it into the card, what that does later is it kind of reminds me of who this person is. Now, the beauty is I already have his email, his phone number, his quick link. I'm going to go ahead and delete this quick link here. I'm going to delete this quick link just like this. Delete it completely. I'm going to refill it in with his LinkedIn profile, his recent LinkedIn posts. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave some comments on his posts. So as you can see, I'm going to go here. I'm actually going to go here and leave a comment on this post over here, just like this. So I just press the keyboard shortcut and the AI will write a comment on his post. Wow, look at that. So he reached $1 billion in loans. Such a jackpot. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to click on message over here and I'm going to click on the little button here and I'm going to say, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. You are such a gem. Okay, and I'm going to go up here, send it to him and press send. And I see he's never really replied to me. You see that? He never really replied to me yet. So that's totally cool. I'm not going to take that personally. But I do have his cell phone number somewhere, so I'll just give him a buzz. And I'm going to do the same thing for his partner, Lynn. I'm going to pull up the profile over here, take a look at what she's doing, and help her be able to properly get on board. It looks like she's posting the same thing that he's posting, but they're doing it the wrong way. So I'm probably going to have to speak to Allie Chapman about that. Allie Chapman, fractional CMO. Oh, that's not her. I could have sworn she commented on one of my posts over here. Let me see. She posted it somewhere. Okay, so the fastest way for me to find her, I'm going to cancel this, is to go to this person's profile right here. Then go to Multifunding LLC, go to the company, and then once you're in the company, click on People, and then see who works there. And I can see if Allie's there. Let me see. I'm going to do, Kate Stackhouse is there. Allie Chapman's right here. You see that? So I'm going to go ahead and send her a message. I'm going to use Sales Navigator. I'm going to say, do you want to connect? Let me know. Okay, so I'm going to say, do you want to connect? Let me know. I sent her a message, and let's just see what she says. I'm going to hit messages. If she responds to me, I will get that credit back. So right now I had to use a credit. I used 106, but she'll very, very likely respond to me. So we'll see what she sends me. And look at all these people that I messaged at 12 a.m. I've been messaging all these CEOs. None of them responded to me yet, but it's nice to message all these people. Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to close this out over here. I'm going to close this out, close this out, close this out, close this out, and that's the idea. Hopefully you guys got value.